Hi, I'm Rob with We Keep You Cycling, and we're going to be extreme stress testing the Trico iron case. Now, for the better part of 20 years, the Trico case has been your go-to hard-shelled case. And in all normal scenarios, it provides outstanding protection. But here, we're going to be pushing it beyond the limits to see how well the design does in out-of-this-world testing. So, admittedly, we couldn't find a guinea pig to give us their expensive carbon bike and wheels. So the next substitute is eggs. Now eggs will represent the same weight, approximately 15 pounds, and they'll be more fragile in nature. We're using a total of 15 pounds because of the amount of energy we hope that the impact or crash testing will have to absorb so that it's not particularly light, and we're using eggs because they're particularly fragile when hit. They're bagged so we can quickly identify which dozen has failed, and the cardboard container that they're in will be a marginal protection for them, likely being no greater in total strength than a frame. So on net, we're still expecting the dozen of eggs to be more delicate than your wheels or frame, and we're making sure the weight is correct and the layup is approximating a frame and wheel setup so we can get the best results possible. In this set of testing, we're going to be looking at impact resistance in two different scenarios. A moving, kicking it out of a truck at 25 miles an hour, and a drop test from 20 feet. Kicking it out of the truck at 25 miles an hour is to represent what would happen if it literally fell off the back of a moving truck. Let's say someone on the tarmac or the delivery driver failed to properly secure it, went to pull away, and boom, it fell off. My prediction in this is I'm expecting a lot of deep gashes, and where it initially makes impact, I'm expecting the eggs that make impact to fail at the bottom. I'm expecting this because we have two forces. We have both the speed and we have the sudden drop. Let's take a look and see how it did. While we just saw one test where we kicked it out of the back of the truck, we ended up doing two. The first one in error, where we all thought we were doing a dry run, and our assistant kicked it out the back of the truck, and then the second one where we were all ready to go. Now, since it went through two, I was expecting to see a lot of eggs finally broken when we opened it up. So after the kick-out test, let's take a look what we got. The wheel section, all intact. All right, let's see how the frame survived. Fared better than I expected. We've got no damage to the eggs. None at all. But there were none. So for me, it was sort of disappointing. I'm here pushing the limits, trying to get those eggs to break, and the darn things didn't break. Probably the test wasn't sufficient enough. So let's see the next test. In this next test, we're going to be dropping it from 20 feet on an edge. On the truck, it hit the flat bottom, absorbing the weight through a large surface area. And here I want to see what would happen if literally someone dangled your case off the side of a building and dropped it. My prediction is that we're going to see catastrophic failure of the hard-shelled case. I think the weight and the velocity of impact is going to create such energy that the nose or the front of that case impact is going to shatter. I'm assuming the contents are going to be damaged, but let's take a look. Drop test! we dropped it. And the impact was so hard that our super glued GoPro camera that you watch that footage of impact literally was ripped off the case from the energy. And that is a very small camera, very well secured to the case. I think that gave us a great idea of how much energy the front of that case had to absorb. Let's see what happened inside. Eggs are a little moved around. No damage so far to the wheel section. All eggs on the wheels remained unbroken. Well, let's see what happened to the frame. Ooh. We had what appears to be a sudden stop syndrome on the point of impact. Now, while the case remained intact, it does appear we may not have packed these well enough to stop them from breaking. So, the high energy impact on this area did break the eggs. Suspect on whether it would do the same for the frame, and this may have been a result of two things. One, the eggs may have shifted down towards the front of the case as we were hoisting it up, and two, the sheer fact that there was so much energy to be absorbed, likely the eggs compressed upon each other, because we didn't see all the eggs fail, we just saw where the frame was fail. So I suspect maybe our packing wasn't so great, but I was disappointed to see the case didn't fail. So the case was actually in very good shape. We just had some front damage from that frontal impact. So to wrap it up, we saw the Ford F-250 kick out the back test, no failure whatsoever after 2 attempts. And then of course our 20-foot drop, which is completely unrealistic, it was a lot of work to get it up there, failed. We saw the eggs fail. Now that's no surprise. I'm Rob with We Keep You Cycling, and this was another Will It Break extreme testing of our Trico iron case. We've got a video already out, and there's a very impressive one to come. If you have any questions about the Trico case or any of the travel cases we carry, drop us a line or email us info@wekeepyoucycling.com.